Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to District United TV. I'm a little bit late joining onto this because I was fixing the lineup graphic because I originally had something, I wanted to change it. That's what I think we're going with. But it's DC United versus CF Montreal at Stade Saputo. It was Saputo Stadium, I believe, but then they did this whole French rebranding thing that happened. So it's Stade Saputo, or Stade Saputo. We have some Impact fans in here as well. They were Montreal Impact as well. So yeah, welcome into the stream, everybody. It's gonna be a fun one because I think we could win. I'm very optimistic here. We need a win. I think it's 5 games we've gone without a win. Currently, I haven't fixed the scoreboard yet. We still have the scoreboard at 2-0 from the last game. There we go, it's fixed now. But know that we haven't already conceded 2 goals. Everybody relax. But here we are. We have a couple players back from injury, including Andy Nahar, who is on the bench for us. Let's just go through this lineup here. Pallison, I believe, is going to stay at right back. There's kind of 2 ways where this could go. This is how I think it will go. We have Pallison at right back, Birnbaum, Pines, and then Jaeze on left back. That is Jahaz, or Jaeze, back from injury. He is starting, which is really good to see because, we were kind of doing a makeshift left back with Jacob Green. And he is a left back, but he's very young, and we don't want to, do that. Yeah. He wasn't good enough to be like a starting MLS player. We knew that. Jaeze, our best left back, is back into the team. Canals will probably be the deeper of the midfielders. I didn't do all that shifting around that I usually do but honestly, I don't really know how this is going to go out. Canals is going to be probably the deeper midfielder. Lewis O'Brien, who I thought looked all right. He was getting into some challenges and got fouls called on him because he's not used to the referees being soft here. He's used to the Premier League referees. But Lewis O'Brien, probably going to be like a box-to-box, a little bit more of an advanced role than Canals, but we'll at times still see him dropping in, at times maybe even deeper than Canals. Click will probably be that left mid / cam. Kind of, he's going to drift into the midfield. We know that 100%. I was looking at the average position of our players against Columbus Crew, and it really did kind of look like this lopsided, almost like a staggered triangle midfield, where Click actually was not really playing left mid. He was getting really tucked inside to help out with the marking in the midfield because we didn't see a lot of the ball. Ruan should be playing as a right mid. When he came to the club from Orlando City, we were like, he's a right back. Wayne Rooney has started to play him in a more advanced role. He looks really good in the more advanced role. He looks like one of the better subs that we made in the last game. Could have came on, made a huge impact. We could have won the game with him, or tied the game. Looked really good. Earned his start in this game. And he also is replacing Chris Durkin. Well, not replacing Chris Durkin, but Chris Durkin's still not in the lineup. He's on the bench. We've got a stronger bench now because players are coming back from injury. We're dropping players from the lineup. We have a stronger bench. Taxi's probably going to be the deeper forward. And then Benteke, obviously, is the out-and-out number 9 kind of poacher. Striker. Prediction. I'm going to say we are away from home. So Montreal coming off of I believe it's a 4-0 and a 5-0 defeat. I'm gonna go. It's a tough one because we're away from home and they've got Hernan Losada. I haven't spoken about Hernan Losada yet. They have Hernan Losada, our former head coach. If you've been living under a rock, he left, and the fans didn't really like it. I personally didn't really like that he left. But then you dive deeper into it. There he is. You dive deeper into it. The players did not like him. He was going over the top with these like BMI inspections and all these, like, had to make sure you weren't like too fat, basically. Doing all these just, and his style of play, and you're seeing him integrate it here. They're showing the lineup on the screen if you're watching it on Apple TV. He's gone with this 3-back that has really high fullbacks and just overdrive, attack, attack, attack. So you're going to concede a lot of goals there. Which leads me into my prediction. Apple TV has us playing a 3-back, so I very much doubt that will happen. If it happens, then we'll change the lineup graphic. Prediction, though. We know that Montreal has the ability to concede a lot of goals. We can't score many. So it kind of counteracts each other. Our defense is very leaky, and their attack is okay. So I'm gonna say it could go many different ways. We could get a cracking game where we get a 3-2, like a classic, maybe not a classic, but a really high scoring game, or we could see, like, I think, in my prediction, is going to be a 2-1. I think we will concede in this game because their forwards aren't bad, but I think we'll get the better of them. I'm going to get ready to start the timer now because the players are on the pitch. Kind of perfect timing because we just kind of ended our chat about the lineup. But also, I have the home kit that we have worn, that we wore last year, but it is the one again this year because that's like how it works. But yeah, and it's the one with the stars now. So it's the good one. It's got the 4 stars for the MLS Cup wins. We are underway. You might hear my phone buzzing because it's all the notifications from all the other games around the league starting. We will be updating you on the results in those games as well as goals come in, red cards, halftime, full time. When those hit, we'll update you. And the Washington Spirit are also playing the North Carolina Courage, I believe, and they're already up 1-0, so I'll update you on that as well. Loudoun United beating Birmingham Legion 3-0 already at home. I don't know if Jeremy Garay has gone on yet. He has not. Yeah, not gone on yet, but Samake is playing a good game, apparently. Whew. There we go. Foul called pretty much on the halfway line. Let's look at who does CF Montreal have? They have brought Guillard. Didn't they just gave away, I forget his name, but he just went away to like Inter Miami or something. I forget where he went, but one of their better center backs left. So they have a worse defense than they've ever had. Victor Wanyama still the captain. And not horrible front line. You have Bryce Duke. You've got the Nigerian winger before. And then you have Ahmed Hamdi. So, not horrible. They've got some okay subs. We have better subs and we have a better starting lineup. So, we should be winning this game. And I'm going to say, this is a must-win game. And of course, get involved in the chat. Score predictions and stuff. I see a 3-1 to DC. Definitely possible. Something that I'd like to see Birnbaum not do is kick it long every time he gets the ball. It looks very bright. I mean, I know it's nighttime in Montreal, but the floodlights look really like bright. I don't know why. Okay, let's get settled in. We still have the tweet from DC United after the penalty was called last game. We still have that up on the screen. Not sure what we're gonna do with it, but it's there. I think there's just been a foul called. And if you're wondering who's on the back, there's nobody on the back, because There's nobody in the back. Okay, let's figure out what formation we're playing. Because Click is actually on the right. Now, this is really interesting. I can't even see Ruan's up there. So I didn't really talk about the other option that I thought it was. Click's in. Okay, the goalie beat him to it. There's already been a goal in the Atlanta United game. Toronto has gone down 1-0 to Atlanta United at home already within 3 minutes. 4 minutes. But the other thing I was going to mention was a diamond midfield where Ruan goes to right back, and then we've got sort of a, Palson's being like a 6 like he played in the NYCFC game, and then O'Brien and Knaus are the 2-8s. Click is the 10. Simple. Like a 4-1-2-1-2 or whatever you want to call it. But it looks like something more complicated than that. It looks something that we haven't mentioned yet. There we go. Jeremy Garay is on. He's been subbed on in the 81st minute in the Loudoun United game. He is on loan from DC United, so we'll be checking in on him whenever Loudoun United play. I like this. I feel like I'm now. I feel like I'm part of the team now. I just keep wanting to look at it. All right, ball in to the back stick. Ruan heads it out, and a side volley over the net, not too far over. Just not a great connection on it from the center back. Number 4, I couldn't see his name. Victor Palson's already been booked, so I actually couldn't see why he was booked, but he was. So we're already guaranteed he's going to get subbed off eventually. And DC has a goal kick. There you go. Victor Wanyama gives it away. Get it right back. Trying to figure out what's going on in this midfield, because it looks like a midfield 3. Where Tyler Miller off his line. It almost looks like Donovan Pines is playing left back. Benteke dropping in deep, finding Knaus, and there's Pines. Finds Lewis O'Brien. Jahaz was making the overlapping run. Didn't make it there in the end. Looks like there's a lot of players slipping. I kind of like the role that Click looks like he's playing. He's kind of playing like that 8 that we believe that he is. That I believe he played at Leeds. That sort of more of an advanced 8. Which is good to see, because that's going to see him get the ball a lot more often. Throw in for Montreal now. I've just noticed Hernan Losada's wearing like this suit jacket. I don't ever remember him dressing that nice for our games. I feel like he was always a tracksuit manager. Wayne Rooney's a tracksuit manager. He always has the low hat where you can't see his face. And another thing worth noting, we talked about the captain's armbands for some reason last game, because I noticed that Columbus Crew has this really cool custom made captain's armband, and we had that old like a one that a high school team would wear, one that I literally wore for my high school team. One of those captain's armbands that says captain, and it's the 2 stripes. You know what I'm talking about. Montreal are wearing the same one, so Victor Wanyama with the captain's armband for Montreal, and he's just blasted it into nobody. Tyler Miller is there. And Tyler Miller's just tried a long ball, tried to find Taxi Funtas. Actually, he was probably aiming for Benteke. Ended up on Taxi's head, but he was too short to get it. So, ball ran to the goalie. Now ball over the top for Montreal. Also run lots of long balls, which is not something that I was expecting from us. Not something that I want to see from us. I want to see us take advantage of their leaks in the defense, work at them until they eventually split open. And I want to see more from Taxi. Taxi looked very lively in the first, in the first half, for about 20 minutes. Looked like he was going to get a goal, and then he just kind of disappeared for the rest of the game. So, I want to see more from Taxi. But so far, it's just kind of been... It's hard to even know. Jaeze's feeling something kind of in his back. He's down. And I don't know if he's going to continue. Hopefully this isn't the same injury from last time, because then Wayne Rooney's rushed him back a little too early. Powson's talking to Rooney. I don't know what part of Jaeze is injured, but he has gone down, and Jacob Green is warming up, along with Yamil Assad and Pedro Santos. Buntas is also talking to the DC United coaching staff. NYCFC have taken the lead against Nashville, and that is at Yankee Stadium. But like I was saying, if that's the same injury that he had before, that he's just now coming back for, this is his first start since being out injured. If it's the same injury, then that's not great on Wayne Rooney, because that means he's rushed him back too early. And it looks like Pedro Santos. I like saying that name. But Pedro Santos is he's taking off his warm-up tracksuit, and it looks like, okay, so I think Donovan Pines is playing left back in a way, but now he's really central. Oh no, he's just covering for, I don't know, he's like, I have no idea. It's just this really fluid thing that I can't really... They're just interchanging the whole way. It's a good little bit of passing from Montreal. And then the long ball is overhit. This is, I think, going to be a running theme for the night. Pedro Santos is on. So let's try and update this lineup graphic. So Santos is most likely going to be playing the rest of the game, unless we do unless he gets injured, or we do like some kind of double substitution, which wouldn't be very smart. So we've already lost a sub. Let's I'll try and figure out what's going on here. This lineup, and then I'll show you what I believe is going on with the lineup graphic. Lewis O'Brien is the furthest left of the midfielder. It's not really click like it was last game, so it's definitely different. We've done something different. I just can't tell exactly where the players are playing. And Santos is really, really high. So but so is Rouen. So are we playing with no right back, or are we playing with no left back, or are we playing with no left winger, or are we playing with no right winger? I don't know. It's some form of asymmetric something's going on. And now they're getting at us here. Oh, never mind. I think the ball was out of bounds. Unless this is a 3-back. This could be a 3-back. It just doesn't look that way. Like, Palson's really far to the right. And Taxi's also more off the left instead of Benteke. And Benteke was offsides. They're gonna get a free kick. Yeah, I think we're playing a 3-back, which is interesting. Something that we used with Hernan Losada. I don't think we've used it since Hernan Losada, and now we're using it against him, which is very interesting. I don't know if it's to exploit them, conceding a bunch of goals. All right, remember what I said about their forwards not being horrible? Not saying they're horrible, but they're definitely not efficient. And they don't work together. They're not connected at all. All right. I think I've worked out the lineup graphic and what we've got going on here. Okay. All right, that's what I think is going on. It is some kind of 3-back. Taxi's down, holding his back. What is it with the back injuries today? All right, I think it's just that he was fouled and landed on his back. He'll be fine, probably. But that's what it looks like. Click definitely more advanced, but on the right instead of the left where he was last game. Rouen is very high forward. Santos is even further forward. Pines, we thought, was playing left back because he was the only one out there. And then I was like, well, Palson's also the only one out there on the right. And I was like, oh, well, it's a 3-back. So that's what it looks like. Let me know what you think. I mean, is it working? Not really. We haven't even managed to get the ball on the ground for the whole 20 minutes. This has been a boring. I was deciding whether to say it or not, but yeah, I think it's fair to say it's been a boring first 20 minutes. Taxi's been pulled over to the sideline, the touch line, to be looked at by the trainers. Orlando City is next, in Orlando. So that will be a tough one. But Orlando doesn't look amazing this year. Rouen's former side But yeah, they don't look. Orlando doesn't look incredible. We've played them and we've drawn them. That was at our place. Now we're going to theirs. They'll be more dangerous. But let's focus on this one. We'll take it one game at a time. We haven't even gotten the win yet. We haven't even scored yet in this one. We have a corner for DC United. And now Lewis O'Brien took it, went short, and now it's all the way back to Tyler Miller, who goes long once again. And it's overhit. This field looks narrow. Not as narrow as Yankee Stadium, of course. That looked incredibly narrow. But it looks a little more narrow than normal. And the grass looks a little more like dirt. I'll be honest. The grass doesn't look too healthy. Foul's called on Benteke. I'm not sure why. He just went into a 50-50 with Wanyama, and Wanyama went down. Well, everything with the back line mixed with the midfield for Montreal, building out of the back, is very quick. Lots of 1-2 short passes and then switch, short passes and switch. They're moving the ball very quickly, but once they get it up front, their forwards and their attack don't know how to work together and produce goals. Surely that's a handball. I'll play quick. Still a free kick for DC. We've now got players going forward. It was a handball inside Montreal's half. A little bit further forward than the halfway line. We're gonna have our first sip of water. Ball in from Click. Benteke flicks it on. Birnbaum. Handball on Knaus. And honestly, this 3-back is affecting our ability to stretch the field and play with the width, honestly. And it's affecting our ability to play out of the back. And those two things, playing out of the back, then distributing to the wing, playing on the wing, has been one of our strongest things. One of the things that we should be taking advantage of. Montreal, on the other hand, looking to outnumber us on the wings. We're trying to outnumber them in the midfield. So it's, which one's going to work? I don't know. Currently, all the fouls are being called Montreal's way. We've had some horrible referees all season, honestly. Here we go. Palsen goes long. Over the top with Benteke to taxi. Ruan goes across, cleared out for a throw. That was probably our most promising bit of play so far. Taxi probably should have gone to Lewis O'Brien. Lewis O'Brien called for it afterwards. He told Taxi, look, I'm open. He was making the run. He just needed to hold it up for a little bit longer. Taxi didn't look over his shoulder. He only saw Ruan on the side. It just seemed like they always have an extra man in the midfield. Start marking a little better. Winning those 50-50s. And there's been a challenge on Knaus, I believe, and it earned one of the Montreal players, I believe it was Hamdi, a yellow card. Maxime Chanot has made it 2 for NYCFC over Nashville. So that means New York will go above them in the table. Is that game already over at Yankee Stadium? Long ball from O'Brien, stopped by the fullback for Montreal, but out for a throw. And honestly, Santos is deeper than Ruan. It's a bad ball from Santos. Luckily, Palsen gets it under control with Click now. Tries a through ball to Ruan. Here we go, back in possession. Just keep it, just keep it. Pines takes it. Pines making an overlapping run. Pines is in the box. Somebody has to cover for him. There we go, we won it back anyways. Knaus, Click. Knaus again. Out for Ruan. This looks good. Another run. He tried to find Knaus. With Ruan once again. He's going to put the ball in. Was it out of bounds? It was. Goal kick. Another one of those where we just didn't quite have the final ball. Worked it up the field really nicely. Just needed to be a little bit quicker. We're going to have to play a lot of short. The field is a little bit, I mean, judging based off of literally the goalkeeper goal kicks were just blasted all the way to the opposite side. So I think the field might be, instead of narrow, it might be a little short. The length instead of the width. There we go, thrown from DC. That was a lot better marking in the midfield. It's a horrible, let me just say, it's a horrible outfit from Hernan Losada, by the way. He's wearing like 3 different shades of gray and black. Welcome to the stream, Xander. But it's like 3 different shades of grayish black, and he's wearing like, the suit is like this full black, and then he's like got this gray like vest thing that he's wearing that is just looks like a horrible material. And then his actual shirt is like a lighter shade of black than his jacket is. So it's all mixed up there. And Pines had to clear that for a corner. So it's a corner for Montreal. Ball in. Palsen clears it. Rouen clears it once again. And ball's back to the Montreal goalkeeper. Lots of balls in the air. We just need to get it on the ground. It's good from Pines. Good from Lewis O'Brien. Beats his man. To Palsen. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Palsen thought Benteke was coming short. Benteke went to make the run forward. Now the ball's back with Montreal. First half an hour, it's flown by. And it's been kind of everything played in the middle. A lot of balls in the air. A lot of long balls. Neither team can really keep the ball for that long. Completely different than the Nashville game, or the Columbus Crew game. They were just passing us to death. They were doubling, they probably tripled our passing, definitely in the first half, because we looked at those stats. On the full game, they probably tripled our number of passes. Taxis just won it from the number 4, I believe it was, and he tries a chip. He should have held it up more, but he tried to chip the goalkeeper. Good pressing, though. Should have just waited. He looked up, and at the time, the goalie was off his line, but then he took another 2 seconds to then take the shot. So, or maybe he was looking for Benteke and it was a bad cross, because he looked up, not at the goalie, he looked up at Benteke. So maybe it was just not a great cross. More quick build-up from Montreal. Big block from Birnbaum. Out for a corner. Probably Montreal's biggest, not really chance, but they made it into our box. Well, we thought this was going to be a high-scoring game. It's just been a lot of back and forth. Nobody can keep the ball. A corner for Montreal here. Taxi blocked the cross. And again, Santos blocks it. Out for a goal kick. Oh yeah, and the El Tráfico's tomorrow. At the Rose Bowl. I believe. Should be. One that they rescheduled from 4. Let me just check that. No, it might not be. Maybe the Rose Bowl one is a little bit later. I don't know. But either way, El Tráfico tomorrow. At 5 o'clock, I believe. 5 o'clock Eastern times. Long ball to Lewis O'Brien, trying to run onto it. And that number 4 center back. I need to figure out what his name is, because he's horrible. He is shocking. That's his second mistake. He's not looked secure on the ball the whole time. Rudy Camacho, 32-year-old Frenchman. And it's a corner for DC. Click is taking it. Ball in. There we go, Benteke. We could have had a corner there, but Benteke decided to keep it in. He was offsides. Oh. Okay, so the one at the Rose Bowl is gonna be the one at the Rose Bowl is on July 4th. That's right. Okay. Never mind then. It's an El Trafico, but it's at... We made it back. We are back. Okay. Internet cut out, but we're back. And no goals were scored, so you didn't miss anything. I didn't miss anything. Let's see, they're doing a replay. Montreal had an attack. Shot straight at Tyler Miller. Is that the first shot of the game? I know each team has had 2. But first shot on goal, surely. Okay, can't see it. But we're back, and I think something happened in the Washington Spirit game. Let me just get that for you. North Carolina Courage equalized from penalty. I think that was before halftime, and now we're starting the second half. Montreal are on the attack. They've taken around our goalie. They're asking for a penalty. Referee doesn't give it. Looked like there could have been something there, but here we've got a counter. That's surely a foul. Definitely a yellow card as well. And I know that whole stadium is booing them right now because they're asking for a penalty. We get on the other end, and Knaus has just been completely hit. Very late. It's blatant. He's... Let's see if that's a penalty. Yeah, no chance. No chance that's a penalty. Santos slips, and that's why... Santos slips. Santos slips, and then the Montreal number 9 runs purposefully to fall over him. So here we go. Washington Spirit just scored a penalty as well themselves, so they equalized with a pen. Now here we are again. Washington Spirit scored a pen. We're now leading 2-1. Lewis O'Brien going forward for DC. Pedro Santos puts it in. Third out by Wanyama. Ball back to Tyler Miller. That number 9 looks tired for Montreal. Frustrated because his wingers are not supporting him when they press. Here we go. Click. Drive forward. Don't play it yet. Be patient. Here we go. Here's Taxi. Click. Leaves it for Taxi. No way. Okay, never mind. Foul on Pines. Ashley Hatch scored the penalty for Washington Spirit to regain the lead. But it seems like it's been a boring first half for most of the MLS games. We're still level. Charlotte and Colorado are still level. Columbus Crew New England Revolution still level. New York Red Bulls, who I think had a weather delay, because they're only in the 10th minute, so probably had a weather delay. They are still level. Them in Houston. And then nothing in the Atlanta United game other than the Giacomakis, or whatever his name is, the Greek guy from Atlanta. Nothing since his goal in the 4th minute. So it's been pretty boring games all across the league. I was expecting a lot of action in this one, because usually when you watch a team coached by Hernan Losada, you're going to get an interesting game. They might not win, probably won't win, but you're gonna see a lot of goals. That is not the case here, because we are not attackingly. We are not proficient in our attack either. We have a throw in for DC. There we go. As I say that, nothing's happened in that Toronto and Atlanta game. Toronto have equalized. There we go. They just showed the possession stats, but I didn't see it. I can give that to you. 64% possession for them, 36 for us. But honestly, I think a lot of the possession has been, during the World Cup, where they split up the possession, and they added in like times when it was in contest, yeah. When there was these 50-50 challenges, the ball's in the air. I think that would honestly take the majority, because it looks like a game of volleyball right now, where the ball is just going back and forth over the halfway line. Looks like that. Once again, back and forth over the halfway line. Click, gets it. Wait for Juan. There we go. Really good pass. Benteke shifts it onto his right. Took a heavy touch. Foul. I don't know if Benteke is right-footed or left-footed, but he shifted that onto his right, and he should have taken it on with his left. Not great. Yeah, he's right-footed. But the defender was giving him the left side. At first I wasn't a huge fan of the Montreal Stadium, but the more I look at like the inside of it, I like the blue color that they have. The color of the seats makes it nice. It's like the Orlando City Stadium. It's kind of a normal stadium. One of the best ones though, because they've got that vibrant purple color. The blue color that Montreal have is really nice. I keep wanting to look at the stands instead of the game. Birnbaum heads it forward to Benteke, now out for Rouen. I want to see Rouen get more involved, because when he's involved, usually we're whipping crosses in. We're looking very nice. Pedro Santos has been very quiet. Here he's on the ball. And his cross is blocked out for a throw. I thought the referee called it a corner. It was not a corner. Ball to the back stick. Rouen heads it back. Nobody was there. He wanted somebody to be there. He was complaining about it afterwards. And ball out for a throw. Rouen to throw it in. A free kick for DC here. Just a lot of back and forth 50-50 challenges. Just play it short for one. Click goes long. Benteke knocks it on. Santos into the box. Overhit. And now it's with the goalie. And he plays wide. 29 driving forward, makes the pass. Into Click. Taxi. He's got space. Ruan. Back across. Oh! Just over. Just over. He needed to find a bottom corner there. Definitely the biggest opportunity of the game yet. He was a little bit far out. It was that bounce. It had the ball was kind of bouncing as it was going in. Gotta find that bottom left corner was wide open. Didn't get the connection on it that he wanted it to. He knows it. Definitely the biggest chance of the game. Could even be the biggest chance we get all night. Honestly, this game looks... I mean, that's a foul for sure. Yellow card. Another yellow card. This ref is giving yellow cards for... I mean, they're yellow cards, but they're also some of these players' first challenges of the game. First tackles of the game. And also, we have several people watching. We're close to 40 subscribers. We need 2 more. Every milestone it's closer and closer. We get 50, then it's 100, and then, we're just gonna gradually, I don't look a ton at that stuff. I just kind of watch the game, Don't see how many viewers we have and all that, but, definitely helps for sure. So, if you're enjoying, you want to see more DC United live streams, we do every single game, other than that one that we had against Chicago Fire that I was away for. And we're definitely eventually going to start doing midweek videos where we do a match review, where we're doing like player ratings and stuff, and we'll talk about, how the game went, what went well, what went bad, and then we'll probably start doing some, in the summertime, we'll probably do some weekly news videos for transfers and stuff like that, because we need some improvements, definitely. And then we'll probably do match previews as well, to, tell you what to look out for in the upcoming games on the weekend. Then we'll bring those things that we talk about into the live show. But yeah, that's my little thing. So yeah, if you're enjoying, subscribe, all that. You can follow me on Twitter as well, which is linked in the description. Throw in deep in our half. Okay, never mind. Halftime. That was a really quick half, I have to say. That was a really quick half, and it's right on 8:30 p.m. Eastern Times. I like that gray Montreal kit. Here we go. Stephen Goff has just tweeted almost nothing of note through 45 plus minutes at Statsaputo. Scoreless and hopeless at the break. Will we see any goals in this game? I don't know. Tell me your thoughts. It's interesting. Don't know what. I mean, it's not the game plan that I thought we were going. I thought we were going to try and exploit the fact that their defense is incredibly leaky. I didn't think that the way that we were going to try and do that. I'm going to stop the timer. I didn't think the way that we were going to try and do that is just by putting more players forward. All we did was just kind of put out more attackers. We didn't really change anything about like the way that we were gonna go about the build-up. We just need to be more efficient, keep the ball on the ground, be patient, and remember, we are best when we are in possession. We look really good when we're in possession. That's been a running theme throughout this whole season. We look really good when we're in possession. We lack the final ball. When we're out of possession, we could be conceding goals every single time the other team gets the ball. This back three, I don't like it. It just looks really shaky. Pines hasn't been... I mean, he hasn't made any mistakes, but he just looks like he just kind of worries me being the only one on that left side. Nobody's helping him. Birnbaum is, fine. Powson, similar to Pines, but he's getting a little bit more help from Ruan. Santos has been silent since coming on. I don't know where Knaus has been. He's not winning us any challenges in the midfield. Lewis O'Brien, if anything, has been the best midfielder. Click actually could be our best player. If he scored that, he's 100% getting like man of the first half. If we're doing that, like instead of man of the match of the first half. Definitely one of our better players. I need to see Ruan get more involved. I need to see some link up there. Click Ruan. That link up has a lot of potential. Benteke is not getting any service. He's not getting the ball. He's not checking in. Taxi, quiet once again. Needs to be just give us more of the ball. We only had 61% possession. No, they had 61% possession. We only had 38% possession. 38% possession for us, which is not enough. We've only had 3 shots. I don't think a single one of them has been on target. Just need to be a lot more efficient in the attack. I mean, it's not like Montreal had these big chances where, we could be down. We should be up. And we should be dominating this game, and we aren't. It's just been... neither team has taken control of the game. Seeing stuff on Twitter that the commentators are bad. That's why we're here. Instead of listening to them, we can just... got away. Not a lot of interesting things. 3 yellow cards, though, and 4 in total. We've had 1 that went to Powson. But 3 yellow cards. Let's take advantage of that. And they're yellow cards that are they're all on the left side, which is our right side. So that's even more of a reason for Ruan. Use his pace. Ruan's incredibly pacey. We haven't seen it a ton. Him use it a ton, and we haven't seen us use it a ton. He is quick, and if we can get Click on that side as well, put Taxi on that side, give one of these guys a red maybe. They're gonna be hesitant to put in challenges. So let's use that pace. Try and get them a yellow. Just run straight by them. For some reason, people are coming at Ruan. I don't know why. Why do people not like Ruan? I don't understand. Hey, is there something that I don't... People actually just don't like Ruan. Okay, so apparently the commentator's calling Russell Canouse Canoose. Don't know if that's because we're in Canada. I almost said France. I don't know if that's because we're in Canada here, in Montreal. They're calling him Canoose. His name is Russell Canouse. Apparently they're saying it wrong. Like, people got mad at this. I don't know. Can you see that? That sign says, I need a hug, and that's a picture of Ruan. People got mad at that. I don't know why. Ruan just holding up a sign saying, I need a hug. I don't understand the problem with that. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like Ruan. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, and I can see the internet is cutting a little bit. Oh no, we're back. There we go. There's like this little square in my streaming software, and if it's red, that means the stream is like kind of dropping out. If it's green, it means we're good. Let's see, how many minutes until start of the half? We have about 6 minutes, a little over that. We will be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna get water and that. Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Accidentally just put an image of the referee from the last game. Did not mean to do that. Meant to do this. There, hang on, there we go. Hang on, let me just put that. There we go. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's just put that there. There we go. Okay, I'll be right back. We're back. Okay, just had to like turn my microphone on. We're back. Second half is literally starting right now. There's been a substitution for Montreal. Didn't know if we had any. 3 games though have started. Elsewhere, 4 of them actually. Austin FC versus Vancouver, Minnesota versus Orlando, Chicago versus Philadelphia Union, and then FC Dallas versus RSL, Real Salt Lake, and Dallas. FC Dallas have taken the lead already inside 5 minutes. Jesus Ferreira opens the scorelines. We're underway. Who's going to open the scorelines here? We get underway for the second half. Ball into the box immediately. Shot from Click, hits the foot of the post. It's in! Lewis O'Brien has scored his first DC United goal. Wow. I think it was 14 seconds when the ball crossed the line. Rooney doesn't look like he's celebrating. He surely has a little smile on his face. But he went back into the dugout to get his water. We are leading 1-0. Let's change the score. The ball went to Benteke. He drops it down for Taxi. Took a really good layoff, and then Click had a really good shot. Really good shot from Click. Hits the foot of the post. And then Benteke left it for Lewis O'Brien, who was running onto it, and he wasn't missing from there. And that is his first DC United goal. Again, he is on loan from Nottingham Forest. Currently, the loan's only 6 months long. We don't really know if there's an option to make it to the end of the MLS season. Currently, it's just to the end of Nottingham Forest's season. If he enjoys it here, I don't see why he wouldn't stay. I'm so far liking him a lot. Okay, welcome back to the stream, everybody. We just finished our halftime break, and then right away went straight back into it. Lewis O'Brien's through again. 1-on-1. Oh, the touch is heavy. He could have made it 2 goals inside 2 minutes. That would have been like probably an MLS record. 2 goals, 2 minutes. But he took a heavy touch off his thigh. But hopefully we see a lot of what we talked about before I did the halftime break. Hopefully we see more involvement from Ruan, more involvement from Taxi especially. Hernan Losada is shaking his head. Free kick for DC. But yeah, more of us keeping the ball on the ground. Honestly, the way we scored the goal wasn't us keeping it on the ground, but that is, a little bit lucky. Well, maybe not lucky. It fell to him perfectly. Took a nice layoff. Here we go. Keep the ball on the ground. Click all the way back to Tyler Miller. And up for Ruan. Foul's called on Click. He's not happy about it. I think MLS need relegation. Yeah, well, short answer is yes. It definitely will help. It'll get more people to watch it, for sure. Is it possible? I don't think it's really. It's just hard to go with how big the country is. It's so hard to go like it is in Europe, where there's like small countries. and like a team that is like doesn't have a lot of money can make that travel to a team. They can just get on a bus and go 6 hours to the other side of the country, and they can play a game. You know, in England at least, the leagues all the way down to the fifth tier are across the whole country. So in the U.S., none of the leagues are across the whole country, honestly, because you're still splitting it up into conferences and stuff like that. Yes, there's, you know, between conference games, or what do you call them, interconference game, like crossover kind of things. So is it possible? Probably not, because we don't have the funding that goes all the way down to that level, and we also don't have the quality that goes all the way down to that level. Although I've been to several USL League 2 games, which is the lowest level of USL, and the level's very high. It's mostly college players, and like Division 1 players. But we need it, but we should be lucky. That is true. DC United would have gotten relegated last year. So that, you know, we say we need relegation, but the other thing is how many casual fans would then stick with their team to go to the second tier? Like new fans from like an expansion team, let's say Charlotte FC got relegated last year. How many fans would have stuck with that team in the second division? We don't know. You don't know until you try it. You'd have to hope that, oh my goodness, look at this from Taxi. You'd have to hope that they'd stick with them on the ride, which is that, you know, it's all part of being a fan, the highs, the lows. But do casual fans from America that aren't used to relegation at all in any sport, would they do that? So my theory's always been it would hurt us before it gets better, but the long-term gain would be massive. So if the MLS, you know, and MLS owners don't want that. They want to keep their team in last place. They don't care as long as they're getting more money. They don't really care. This is really good for Juan. He's managed to keep the ball. Now it's Lewis O'Brien. But yeah, MLS owners probably wouldn't want relegation, because when their team goes down, massive amounts of money, like their profit goes down tremendously. So if it was ever down to some kind of vote where they were taking input from each individual team, it would never happen. US should wait to add relegation because of level and being connected. Yeah, those are like the main concerns that I would have, that like most people have. Is there's obviously hardcore fans at every single club, and there's fans that would stick along the way. I think that's the funnest part of being a fan, is if you experience the lows, the highs feel amazing. Which is why when we eventually win an MLS, another one, when we win our fifth star, it's gonna feel amazing. Hopefully it happens. So, but that's all part of being a fan. In the US, would, you know, when the Cleveland Browns were doing really, really bad, if there was a relegation to like the XFL or whatever they call it, or USFL or whatever it is, would those fans have continued going to the game, filling out the massive stadiums and all that? Even now in the MLS, we can't fill a 20,000 capacity stadium. Like this stadium right now, Stade Saputo, it doesn't look full. Yeah, this team is last in the league. But yeah, I think we've got a long way to go until relegation is possible / is even considered, honestly, by like the higher ups. But it's definitely something that should happen long term. Yeah, that was a little bit of a long answer. So, but I think it's always a good chat, because you wonder, how would we do it? And how would we, you know, because it needs to happen. Those the grassroots clubs and stuff like that, there needs to be like a clear path for them to the top, and then more teams will be started. It's just hard for a team to get the funding to then. It's just the gap between the funding of fourth division of England and the fourth division of, just the gap is huge. Like you have to pay like incredible expansion fees and stuff when you make an expansion team into the MLS. And then there's expansion in the USL as well. It's not really USA's thing, but it is football's thing, or soccer, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. We're back. We're up 1-0. We're up 1-0. 10 minutes into the second half. Throw in for DC. Who will get subbed on? This is usually the point in the game where we take a look at the subs. Who do we have available? Pedro Santos has already been used. And we didn't really talk that much about Jaez's injury, but he went off very early in the game. Hopefully he's not out for a long time, because I was really liking the look of him in the first couple games of the season. But yeah, let's look at the bench. Jackson Hopkins, Ted Kudi-Pietro, Chris Durkin, Yamil Assad, Andy Nahar, Jacob Green, Matai Akinimbani, and then Alex Bono. Honestly, it's a solid bench. We talked about in the season preview way back in February. Way back, it's only been about 2 months. Still way back before the season even started. We talked about us needing more players from the bench who can come on and change a game, and how we tremendously lacked that last season. And it's one of the biggest reasons why we couldn't get a lead, then hold that lead, or we couldn't be in a stalemate and then just get that extra push. That's why we needed the extra signings, fill out our bench. And because of the injury crisis that we've had in these first couple games, we haven't even been able to fill out a full bench. But now we do. We've got really good options on our bench, like Chris Durkin. He had arguably several man-of-the-match performances playing right mid and right back. And we haven't even seen him play his primary position, which is that box-to-box 8, maybe more defensive. And he's on the bench right now. Yamil Assad still hasn't really worked himself into a first-team spot, first 11 spot. Jackson Hopkins, looked like one of our best youngsters last season. Has barely even gotten a sniff. People are rating Kudi-Pietro above him. And then you've got Andy Nahar, who's coming back from injury, who people on Twitter for some reason are crying out for him to replace Ruan. I don't see the issue. I wouldn't see an issue with them both playing on that right side. If we play Ruan, if Wayne Rooney wants to play Ruan in a more advanced role, that is totally fine. Andy Nahar, right back, that's fine. Andy Nahar just kind of does this thing where he just does whatever he wants, and he gets really far forward at times. But usually it's good. There we go. We finally played a short free kick. There we go. Pedro Santos on the wing. Still Santos. The pitch is very slippery. Ball all the way back to Tyler Miller. Goes long. Out for a throw deep in Montreal territory. If you're just joining in, welcome. We're about to reach the hour mark on the game at Stade Saputo in Montreal, Canada. And DC United lead, surprisingly. Well, surprisingly we're leading a game, but it is Montreal. Can't get too overly excited because we haven't played that well. We're letting them dominate the ball, controlling it. I think Wayne Rooney has got this idea that he has carried over from Derby County, this mentality that he used in the championship, which is a good mentality to have in the championship, to just try and dominate the game in your home games. But when you go away, for some reason, we just change into this team that sits back and we counter and we play long ball, and it's ugly. And it's a strategy that would work very well in the championship, but do we necessarily need that in the MLS, where, yeah, the atmosphere isn't going to even come close to a championship game. There's still, loud drums banging and stuff. Like, I went to FC Dallas game, sat right next to the supporter section, not like I was supporting the team. Okay, relax. I'm not becoming an FC Dallas fan. But I did enjoy hearing the drums, the atmosphere it was going. It was really loud. The DC United games, you have the whole, standing section, really, really loud. Atmosphere's there, but, like, do we need to go full out defensive, counter-attacking, pragmatic, way, like, away from home in the MLS? Like, do we need that? Not really. I think we should try and dominate, just take the game to them. This is a team that's bottom of the table. Well, yeah, bottom of the table. Coming off of 2 massive defeats, and we've just given the ball away in front of the box. Our box. Wanyama. There we go. Now we're on the counter. Benteke left it for Lewis O'Brien. Tried to find Taxi. This is just really, and this is similar to the first half, where it's just back and forth. Ruan is now carrying the ball forward. Taxi. Come on, find him. Still Taxi. Good ball into Benteke. Takes it on his left. He couldn't get the cross away. Throw in. I believe it's for us. There we go. Clicks just won a big challenge here. More Montreal Impact fans in the chat. All fans welcome. I like to have opposing fans in the chat. It gives us a different perspective. Goal kick for DC. Miller does a lot of this, telling people to calm down, which is useful. It doesn't really look like we listen to him. The back line. Birnbaum just blasts the ball forward. Montreal's got another substitute coming in. Chicago's taking the lead against Union. I didn't even see that. That was 4 minutes ago. And the Revs are beating Columbus Crew. Wow. Okay. A little bit of a collision between Taxi and one of the Montreal players. Some words were exchanged. A little bit of trash talk. New England just got a red card as well. But yeah, Union is down away from home in Chicago. And if it ends that way, we can say that we got a better result in Chicago than Union did. And Charlotte also equalized against Colorado, so it's 1-1 in that game. "65 minutes gone now. Click. Through on. Lots of overlaps, underlaps. Click into the box. And Charlotte's got 2 quick goals there. They're now leading. 2 goals within like 3 minutes. 2-1 in that game in favor of Charlotte. It was Kamil Jozwiak. But this half looks very similar to the second half. The ball's probably stayed on the ground a little bit more because the players are fatigued from throwing their bodies at these headers and 50-50s that they don't win. That, like, literally there's like 50-50s that come in and then nobody wins it. Just ends up popping back up in the air. Lots of subs for Hernan Losada's Montreal Impact, or CF Montreal. This is good control from Benteke. Really good switch over to Rouen. It's a good touch. Rouen in the box. Santos. Out for a goal kick, and now there's going to be a double substitution. So that's 4 subs. Actually, it might be 3. 3, yeah. The 3 subs in total already used by Montreal. They used the break at halftime, so that's their first stoppage. They have 2 more stoppages, 2 more subs that they can use. They took off one of their center backs. I don't know who else it was. Throw in for Montreal. Good header from Pines down to Powson, who clears long. Can we just keep the ball on the ground, please? Just keep possession. If we have it, they can't score. If we have it, you don't have it. Simple as that. Just keep the ball. We do need to get a goal because I just feel like Montreal are going to get a counter-attacking goal, this lucky deflection that just goes in. Our defense has not been bad, this 3-back that we're doing. It just looks like just shaky. I don't fully trust it. But at the end of the day, we might come away from Montreal with a clean sheet. So, which isn't hard to do. We haven't really had to work for it. We should start to make some subs now because we've reached 70 minutes and our players have looked like they've kind of run out of energy. So I think it would be wise to switch to a 4-back and bring on Chris Durkin. I think. And honestly, I wouldn't be against taking off Pedro Santos. Maybe we play Durkin at left back. Durkin's a flexible guy. He can play multiple places. Or maybe we bring on Matai Akinmboni, who hasn't seen a minute since he got his concussion. A little bit unfair. Or Andy Nahar's back introduced to the team. I don't know, but I wouldn't be against taking off Pedro Santos. We could even take off Ruan, bring on Jackson Hopkins, just a little more energy in the attack. Maybe even the midfield as well. Put an extra man in the midfield. Because I thought they were going to try and overload the wings, but they're not really. They're trying to force it. They're using their wings. Here you go, they've put in a cross. It wasn't a very good one. Benteke knocks it down for Lewis O'Brien. Is this a man of the match performance from Lewis O'Brien? Possibly. He hasn't created a ton. Ruan. That's not a great cross, honestly, at all. Back out to Ruan. Let's see if we can get a better one here. Okay, back to Click. Click's also been really good. This is what I've been waiting for. This performance from Click where he is the one dictating the tempo. Which is what we've needed him to do all along. He's dictating the way that we go about our attack. And he's defending all right. Making some challenges, going into 50-50s. He's using that big frame that he has. He's pretty strong. And he's finally using it. Goal kick for DC for Tyler Miller to take. Atlanta United's taken the lead in the Toronto game. And the Washington Spirit game has also ended 2-1 in favor of Washington Spirit. So we get another win. Ball into the box. It's low at Tyler Miller. He did well to keep hold of it because it looked like it was this dangerous whipping bounced ball. Made it look easy. "15 minutes left. When are we going to get the subs?" I don't think Rooney wants to take any risks. He wants to protect this lead. This number 14 has been pretty lively. I think he was a substitute. Okay. There's a little bit of a mix-up in the box. Flick played the ball out of bounds. Throw in. I thought he was playing it. It looked like he was playing it out of bounds. Out of bounds on purpose. Chance for a shot. Well over. We need to win tonight for motivation. Absolutely. Said it before the stream, before the game. This is a must-win game. We need to get back rolling. We haven't had a win since the Toronto game. So maybe our thing is just going against teams from Canada. We know how to win against teams from Canada. We have not beaten a single team from the US. So there's that. But yeah, that'll give us more hope. It puts us, if Toronto lose, Philadelphia is losing. I don't know how Red Bulls are doing. I think they had one of the 8:30 kickoffs. And then Inter Miami also might be scoreless in their game. I don't even know when they're playing. But I mean, if we win, we're in a playoff spot. So we're in 9th if we win. Assuming, I mean, Atlanta might extend that lead. If we extend that lead, we might have them on goal difference. I mean, Toronto are ahead of us by 6 on goal difference, so I don't know if that's the first tiebreaker, but we did beat them, so. Unless the first tiebreaker is the number of wins, which actually would make sense. And we would have them on that. Cudi Pietro's coming on, and so is Chris Durkin. Which means we can get ready to do the lineup graphic. I don't know who's going to come off. If it's... Alright. My prediction, Ruan's going to come off. And then it's Knaus, who's been probably the quietest player other than Santos. They're showing the camera on click. I don't know if he's coming off. He's resetting his socks. Doesn't look like he is. Knaus is definitely coming off, though. So Durkin's on. Hopefully we'll see Durkin play in the midfield. Unless we go a little more defensive. Oh no, Click is also off. Interesting. Unless that's a precautionary thing that we're just taking you off to keep him healthy. I actually don't know how this is going to play out. Could be a 4-back. Durkin's very much in the middle. Ruan looks like he's playing... Okay, I have no idea. Ruan looks like he might be playing right back now. He's playing a little bit deeper. He's being a little more reserved, letting Cudi Pietro get a little higher on that right side. So maybe that's what's going on. At the same time, it almost looks like a 3-striker formation, where we've got like Benteke, Ku, Taxi, I wonder if I can, like, hold on. If I can do this. Can I do this? Looks like we're still trying to find our identity. You need to see better chemistry between the players, and especially in the midfield. I think if we get Click more involved, which we did tonight, I don't know why he's coming off. Click looked really good tonight. Yeah, he did look really good tonight, and he, I think, was one of the biggest reasons we finally got we kind of unlocked Lewis O'Brien as well. Lewis O'Brien looked really good. We got the connection between our midfield and our attack looked pretty strong. I do not keep up with Copa Libertadores. No, I do not. Let me see if I can do this. I know it looks weird on the screen right now. I need to... Okay, never mind. This isn't going to work. Okay, turn that off. Covering my face. That is not what I wanted. Can I delete that? I can. Okay. There it is. Oh wait, I canceled it. There it is. Okay. So you can, hold on. If I like control, nope, it's alt, isn't it? It is. You can crop it. Yeah. Okay. Do we see this? We're gonna place it over top of this. We're just gonna kind of move it around as we go. I don't know if you can see my cursor. You can. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it looks like 3 strikers, honestly, and then you've got like Ruan is kind of like here. I don't know if you're looking at that. It's kind of like running through this area, so it almost looks like he's playing right back. Then Pine's a little bit further over. Birnbaum's over here. Palson's over here. Still like a 3 back with Ruan there. Okay, they're in our box. Out for a goal kick. We're asking for offsides there, and I thought it was offsides, but didn't call it. UDPH is very much like this right-sided winger. And Durkin and O'Brien are working like by themselves. It's like that. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. Okay. Turn that off. Change this. Okay, maybe we can start doing that now. Do that. Start doing that. We've got 10 minutes to go. So yeah, that's what I believe is going on right now. Let's just kind of imagine that for a little bit. It looks like just a big diagonal line across. More like that. Yeah, diagonal line going down from Santos to Ruan, but that's kind of what it is. Ruan's kind of playing like a right back. I think from here, the sub that makes the most sense is bringing on like Yamil Assad or Jackson Hopkins, taking off Santos probably. Or maybe we bring on another center back like Akin Mbani. We move Palson to be like a 6, a defensive midfielder. I'll move this closer to my face. Montreal just look really careless in possession. They just don't look very good. Very sloppy. That pass out of the back. And they try to do this really quick build up. These forward runs. And it doesn't work. Rouen driving forward now. Beats his defender with that pace that we were talking about earlier.Udi Pietro leaves it for Taxi. Takes the shot! Just wide. I thought that was it. I thought we were going to, see out this game with that goal. With that shot from Taxi. It looked like it was just bending and bending and bending away from the goalie. Just bent a little bit too far. I might have even struck the post. I couldn't tell. Okay. Might have even hit the post. And the goalie actually tipped it, so it was closer than that. We've got a corner here from Lewis O'Brien. Lewis O'Brien's left-footed. Didn't know that. Long ball. Palsen knocks it on. Taxi was not offsides, even though the Montreal defenders were asking for it. The ball came in there. It looked like Benteke was going to get on the end of it. Taxi. Decent attempt to the back stick. With that cross from Lewis O'Brien, I thought we were going to see Benteke get his head on it. Now, this is an interesting sub. Honestly, a sub that with like 5 minutes left in the game that I wouldn't make is Nahar coming back from injury. Rouen's off. They're rushing Rouen off. I honestly wouldn't make that sub. Rouen's looks pretty comfortable. And you wouldn't risk making a change this late in the game, trying to close it out. But anyways, with that cross from Lewis O'Brien, thought we were going to see one of those glancing headers from Benteke again, something that we haven't seen in a while. Something that needs to return. Yeah, one more goal for us will really give you a sigh of relief. Definitely will give me a sigh of relief. Yeah, we need that second goal because I just feel like Montreal might have that random counterattack. And our defense has not been tested all night, honestly. They haven't even registered a shot on goal, I think. Well, they might have had one. They might have had that one in the first half that went straight to Tyler Miller. Free kick from distance. They're throwing players forward now. Ball in. Come out, goalie, come out. Okay, it was offsides. Whew. We had one of those moments. I don't know why this thing clicks when I do that. Oh, it's the spring right here. Don't know why it does that. Okay, anyways. Ooh, that was close. Some Montreal fans are heading towards the exits. Something you love to see. There we go, Pines. It's a good fight from Pines. Pines, he looked shaky originally, but I mean, the back line didn't really look like we were being challenged all game. Birnbaum's had nothing to do. Taxi flashes it across the face of the goal, and nobody was there. Big chance. That was good from Taxi, who has again been quiet, but so has Benteke as well. I don't know, the real test, I mean, can we see how many touches they've had? This is something that I used to look at last season to see Accurate passes for Taxi. He's made 15. He's completed 15 accurate passes. Ball from Andy Nahar. It's a great switch. Taxi in the penalty box. Gonna get cleared out. Not really. They're still trying to play out of the back. Dean, how many touches? 39 touches from Taxi Fundes. How about Click? 32 accurate passes. Touches 59. Okay, so I am right in saying that Taxi's been a little bit quiet. In comparison to some of the others, like Ruan, for example. How many touches he has? He has had 51. Benteke, 31. Knaus, 47. Probably not as much as he's had in previous games, but here we go. We have a corner here. Yes, thank you very much to the chat. I'm not gonna attempt to say your name because I'm gonna mess it up. Gabenga? It's probably a silent G. Benga? Thank you for the positive messages. We're into stoppage time. There's not a lot of stoppage time. This is gonna be a record, record time. We might end before, probably not before we hit the 2-hour mark on the stream. One last ball into the box. Clear it. Pines is up for it. Get it out! Pines, clear it! They're asking for a pen. Surely not. Surely not. Okay, the referee is not. Okay. Thought we were going to see a pen there. Another ball in. Get it out. Durkin. Foul. There we go. Surely that's it. 20 seconds left. We won. Surely that's it. Surely we've gotten our second win of the season. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a tough one. We're going to have to grind out results. And we're going to have to win games when we're not playing at our best, which is what we've done here tonight. It's going to be a fun season for sure. We're still, the players are still learning to play with each other. And we're going to be covering it all here on District United TV. The referee has blown for full time. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. We're 1 subscriber away from 40 subscribers. Never mind, we've hit 40 subscribers, so thank you very much. We've hit 41, even better. The next goal is 50, then it's 100, and then we go from there. We're gonna keep going up. Colorado's had a late equalizer in that game, and Toronto had a late equalizer. It's a W, and we will take it. Absolutely. 6-game winless streak over. Thank you very much, Plug AZ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a pretty fun one. We had some good discussions. It was an interesting game. It was a close one. Got a little close at the end. Thought we were gonna have a penalty, but ultimately we get the better of Hernan Losada's. Yes, I'm on 41 now. Thank you very much, Xander. We end up getting the better of Hernan Losada's CF Montreal. Thank you everybody for watching. Positives, all around. Yeah, I will see you on the next one. Thank you everybody for watching.